a university, Brandeis University, has issued an oppressive language list. That's right, an oppressive language list. These are terms that only oppressors use, I suppose. The phrase is oppress people. Not sure which one it is. Absolutely ridiculous. So fortunately, to the university's credit, they don't require students to switch their language, to discontinue oppressor language and adopt their woke language. But they do say, quote, they recognize that language is a powerful tool that can be used to perpetrate and perpetuate oppression. As a community, they say, we can strive to remove language that may hurt those who have experienced violence from our everyday use. So let's give some examples here. In their violent language category, they say an oppressor phrase is "you're killing it." Can't say that anymore. Why? Because, quote, if someone is doing well, there are other ways to say so without equating it to murder. Nobody thinks that. When you give someone a high five and say, yeah, you're killing it, no one thinks you're talking about actual murder. They say, oh, this is funny. This is an example of the woke left eating themselves. Nothing's ever good enough for the cultural leftists, the cultural Marxists on the left. They say trigger warning is now oppressive language. Why? Quote, the word trigger has connections to guns for many people. We can give the same heads up using language less connected to violence. You're the ones that introduced the phrase trigger warning, and now you're triggered by it. You can't make up that kind of irony. They also say it's oppressive language to say you guys, ladies and gentlemen, or he and she. They suggest instead, I will not be doing this, by the way. This is outrageous. They say instead of ladies and gentlemen, you should use the word folks. Spelled F-O-L-X. What? I don't even understand this. This isn't even like when people say Xmas because they're crossing Christ out. Why do you need to add an X in folks? You spelled F-O-L-K-S. Why do you need an X there? It's not even like Latinx, which is instead of being the female version, Latina or Latino. Like, what are you crossing out for folks? I will never spell folks that way. Never, ever, ever in a million years. Anyway, they say that the reason that you're supposed to say folks with an X is because these examples either lump all people under masculine language. Yes, that's correct grammar to do that. Or within the gender binary, man and woman, which doesn't include everyone. It actually does include everyone. Just check the science. They also say it's oppressive language to use the word tranny or transsexual, but this is where their double standard comes into play. They say, quote, many of these terms have historically and continue to be used in a hateful way against LGBTQ plus folks. And by the way, they spell folks F-O-L-K-S there, not with an X. So who's the oppressor now? They say, as with other in-group language, sometimes folks, F-O-L-K-S, may refer to themselves with a word that someone outside of the group should not use. Okay, so you're allowed to call yourself a name, but other people aren't allowed to use that word? I don't think so. We don't have separate rules for separate people. We have equality. Even under the idea of equity, that would not fly. Your own rules. Play by your own rules here. Okay, they're not done though. They say that you're not allowed to use the phrase everything going on right now. Now I know what you're thinking. What could possibly be oppressive or offensive about saying everything going on right now? They're talking about police brutality, protests, Black Lives Matter, COVID-19. No, you're not allowed to say everything going on right now because, quote, being vague about important issues risks miscommunication and can also avoid accountability. So I regret to inform you, you're an oppressor if you say everything going on right now. They also say you're not allowed to use the term spirit animal because it's culturally appropriative language. They say, quote, in some cultural and spiritual traditions, spirit animals refer to an animal spirit that helps guide and or protect a person through a journey. Equating this with the animal you like strips the term of its significance. Well, I'd like to make a bargain with these wokeists. I will stop saying spirit animal when you stop taking the Lord's name in vain. How about that? Somehow, I doubt they're going to want to come to the table and make a bargain on that. So the real story here, besides just being absolutely ridiculous and hypocritical even within their own document, is you might notice there are no prohibited slurs against conservatives, against straight people, or against white people. You can't say African American. They say you have to say black with a capital B. But by absence, it's fine to say Uncle Tom, cracker, Oreo, redneck, white trash, etc., etc., etc. Slurs down the line. They're giant hypocrites. They do not care about people who disagree with them. This, by the way, is what Marxists do. They control language and control speech so that they control you. Don't allow them to do it.
Hi. Before you go, let me talk to you about something. As you know, I've been censored on Facebook and YouTube, so I partnered with locals to create a censorship-free community. I also just launched my show, and I have a lot of exciting new things coming up that I want to make sure I can share with you and get your input on. I'm going to be sharing behind-the-scenes looks of my set and my show prep, and I get a lot of questions about my hair and makeup routines, my research process, and so much more. So I'll give you sneak peeks of all of that. I'll also be doing exclusive segments of my show just for Locals VIPs. All of my interviews will be shared on Locals for VIPs to watch as well. I'll be taking questions directly from VIPs for the video mailbag in my show, and you'll get the episodes free from ads. Who doesn't love that? Not to mention, I'll keep doing everything that you've already come to love. Ask me questions for live Q&As. Let's talk about your favorite books, what yummy vegan food I'm eating for lunch, and what ridiculous headlines I'm reading today. You can do all of that and more, but only if you are a Liz Wheeler Show VIP on Locals. The monthly subscription is $9 a month, but if you really want a good deal, we have an annual subscription for just $72. That's 4 months free. 4 months. So join me on Locals as a VIP. I'll see you over there.